Swadika and welcome to Voice of the Nations Roundtable. Today you are with me, Nina Nirasha Malisaklami. And for today, please join us as we are going to talk about an online platform. But this platform is unlike any other platform because this is a kind platform which believes that the more you give, the more the society will give back, and the more you give, the more you get back to yourself as well. So this kind of platform will create an ecosystem of giving. You may be wondering, what is this platform? So let's find out together with our two speakers today. Please welcome คุณอลิสานภาธิวาอำนวย and คุณอ่านวงจินดาเวชสวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Sawadika. Well, first of all, thank you for joining our program today. For today, we're going to talk about your online platform, which is called Socialgiver. What is Socialgiver?
Okay. Well, Socialgiver is a lifestyle and travel platform that hopes to inspire people to travel more, enjoy their life more, while making a meaningful impact in the world. So it's we have a website and a mobile application, and the idea behind Socialgiver is whenever you buy services from our partner brands, we donate 100% of the profits to local projects that are making a meaningful impact across Thailand.
Okay, but why do you call it as Socialgiver, and how this Socialgiver platform start? คุณอาร์ตคะ
Yeah. Why do we call it Socialgiver? I think it's inspired by this idea that doing good should be something that people can do on a daily basis. And I think when we started, we were looking for easier ways, more effective ways for people to give back. And we thought about how businesses are wasting a lot of service capacity. So for example, hotels have empty rooms, restaurants have unserved seats, events have unsold tickets. And we thought, what if we can convert all these spare services into value for society? And so we approached a lot of these businesses and asked if they can volunteer some funds for a lot of projects that we were working with that had. So before I started Socialgiver, actually, I was working in the social sector, so I was helping a lot of nonprofit organizations, and one of the biggest challenge was fundraising. So in order to solve that problem for the projects that we were working with, we created this new way that people could give back by partnering with these businesses. So this simple idea of kind of connecting businesses with charities in a unique way to offer gift cards that support charitable causes kind of took off and grew to, I guess, what it is today.
May I ask, between two of you, who came up with the idea?
So it would have been joined forces, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of a team effort, really. Yeah.
Why do you think that this is important to give back to the society through this platform? And how does it work actually, คุณอลิสาคะ
Well, I'm sure that a lot of people have many different ways in which they want to be able to give back to society. But what Socialgiver offers is something that's truly special because it's almost like guilt-free travel, where you can actually really enjoy a trip with your family or dining with your friends. Or even before COVID times, we were selling like concert tickets, airline tickets, and movie tickets, and different products and services. But I think why is it that it's important to give back is that, over time, you start to be able to see the accelerating amount of social and environmental issues it's been escalating, especially in the past few years, to the point where people start to realize that, all these social and environmental issues are a lot closer to us than they originally thought. And so how is it that we can contribute on a daily basis, just like what Arch was saying earlier, was that if we could actually get, ways in which people could be encouraged to doing good more frequently, more transparently, and most importantly for the Thai markets, like how is it more fun, So that would definitely allow people to be a little bit more closer to the different social and environmental problems that have been going on, but in a way in which people could make a true impact by who they spend it with. And through spending it through Socialgiver's platform, it could allow possibly a bigger change.
But who will benefit from this the most?
So the person who actually benefit is actually all three parties. We're talking about the giving partners or the business and brands that joined us, the projects that are the beneficiaries of receiving the funds through your shopping. But also as a consumer, you also benefit because you are actually a part in building this community, a community in which we call Socialgiver. Basically all the three parties that I mentioned are all Socialgiver. Businesses that pledge their services, they're also a Socialgiver. Social projects that are working on the ground, they're definitely Socialgiver. That, shoppers and donors that are using our platform are also Socialgiver because they're getting a great price at what they're paying for, an excellent service and product, while at the same time truly being able to support social causes in which they care about.
So that's actually creating as you mentioned before, or as on your website, create an ecosystem that everyone would benefit, but also like we would give back to the society as well.
Yes, exactly. You're spot on.
Okay, but how will your platform help to improve the society, Kun Arch?
So I think like when we started Socialgiver, we believe that businesses should do more than making profit, and we want people to support businesses who are making good things happen in their local communities, to the environment, and I guess to the world at large. So what we're trying to do is offer a new way that makes it easier for not only consumers but also businesses to give back, and to kind of bring about a socially conscious consumer movement, where people realize that their spending power makes a difference, and use that wisely, because I really believe that how you spend your money is actually a vote for how you want the world to be. And it's something that we do really every day, and we don't realize it. And I really think that if we vote with our money in the right way, we really shift the world in the right direction. We really shift our society in the right direction. So that's kind of like the idea that we are trying to bring about, and creating opportunities for everyone to participate in this idea and help make that happen through the platform that we've created.
As you mentioned before, that you have cooperated or working with a lot of organizations. Who are your partners and clients? Do you actually pick them, or you actually offer them the project first and then come together, agree as a mutual agreement, and then partner together? How does it work in this way, Kun Arch ka?
Yeah. So we have two main partners that we work with, right? So it's one group is the businesses, and so far we've worked with now over 500 businesses from hotels, restaurants, spas, activities, events, airlines. And we actually curate this list of businesses very well. So it's businesses that that we enjoy using. So a lot of the times we're just brainstorming within the team. Okay, what services, like what's your favorite restaurant? What's your favorite hotel in each of the different provinces? And that's the list that we approach businesses, because we want to be a platform that feels like it's a friend introducing another friend to things that we love in Thailand. So we curate the business list very, very well. And then yeah.
But do you pick the businesses like as, for example, this business must be a green business, for example?
We also try to do that. Yeah. So one of the things we look for are socially responsible businesses. So green businesses, or businesses that have a track record of doing good for their community. That's actually our first choice. But also, I think we also want to offer our platform as a way for businesses that had not had many opportunities to do good as a new way that they can easily do it. So we don't like screen out businesses that haven't done that much in the past. Yeah.
What about local businesses?
Yeah. So we have like international brands and local brands, like boutique hotels, just small restaurants that we love. And I think we pick based on how much we like these experiences that they offer. Yeah. So we try to select what things that we would recommend to friends, or things that we would personally use ourselves. So when I travel, I just go on Socialgiver, and I just pick the hotels there, because when I eat, the first place I look is on Socialgiver, because these are the places that we enjoy as a team. Yeah, we get some recommendations from customers as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the second group is the projects. Yeah, and that's we actually work very closely with the projects that we pick.
I have to admit that I checked out on your website, Socialgiver, and I was so amazed of all the deals that I can get in there, and the price is really, really good. I was a bit like, wow, is this really true? But it is true. So anyone who doesn't know what is Socialgiver, please check out on their website. You will find a really, really good deal. Okay, so back on to the business. How many projects do you have, and can you please talk about them? This one will go for Kun Alice Ka.
We have been supporting about 60 projects so far ever since we've started Socialgiver. And I feel that a lot of the projects that we work on directly aligns to how the sustainable development goals that has been established throughout the world. But most importantly, we try to spread out the different topics so that there's different social issues and environmental issues that would be of interest to our shoppers and our donors. And some of the projects might be something that nobody has really heard of before, but they're doing like amazing work. And we want to make sure that each projects that we have curated to be on our platform are based on how innovative they are in delivering the strategy in which they want to be able to solve different social and environmental issue, but most importantly, the transparency aspect. I think we're entering into the space of transparency, and therefore people are asking more questions such as, where does my money go? Each donation that goes to supporting each of the charities, how are they being spent? And how far does it go in terms of how efficient the funds are being used? And I feel that this is what Socialgiver is able to offer for our shoppers and donors, so that every time that you shop, you're able to help somebody. But how? How is it that we are planning to, work with these projects, and how are they, solving these issues, and how is it that we can make the social impact units really digestible for our shoppers to say, oh, now I really understand that, being able to purchase a hotel through Socialgiver for just one night at a pool villa can, send a child to school for 3 years. So how amazing is that, to be able to integrate between the giving experience and the customer experience, like at the very same time. So this really allows like the projects to, be able to have that exposure, because we're not just picking the most popular or projects that people are already well known. Sometimes there are projects that are smaller or medium size, and we want to be able to find a way in which we can also give them a bigger platform for people to get to know all the great work that they're doing. And so, the types of projects are quite varied. I mean, if you check out our platform, we have quite a extensive detail of each of the projects, going from education to wildlife protection to conserving big trees, or even supporting arborist training, or we're talking about food and nutrition for remote schools and children. And so I think each of the topics have their own aspect of interest, but most importantly, there's always these nuggets of reality that is embedded in each story, so that people can understand that, these issues are very important, and they will affect us, starting, how is it that we can play a bigger role in helping these projects be able to thrive during this time.
Alice, when you mentioned about the unknown projects, for example, or the business that nobody have heard about, or projects that nobody have heard about it, could you please mention about it? For example, what are the projects that you are actually doing and nobody have heard about that, but it's actually giving back to the society and we should be aware of?
So each of the projects, we have to clarify this, that we actually don't always execute the projects ourselves. We actually partner with local charities or organizations that are already doing amazing work. And I think that we're not here to replace them. The most important thing is, how do we create a channel or a bridge for them to be able to be having the right resources to continue the work that they do. So one of the projects that I find really in need right now is also Sati app. It is an application that focuses on providing mental health support. And this is actually a free service. And it actually embodies volunteer listeners that have been trained in empathic listening to match with people who actually are in need of help. And as you know, the prices of getting these mental health support
Counselor?
is quite high.
It is.
So it's actually quite high. So how is it that we can help support a digital platform that will create almost like space for people to be able to connect and receive help? And also, if they need more help, they know exactly where to go. And so I think suicide prevention is also one thing that this organization is hoping to proceed through this Sati app. So that's definitely something that we hope to be able to support, because we see the relevancy ever since the COVID-19 pandemic. You can see the numbers spiking already since 2020.
That's actually really good, because Thailand, well, for me, my own perspective personally, I think that Thailand should raise more awareness about mental health and not just ignoring it when someone has a problem, and people should come up and talk about that. So this one is actually really interesting. Okay, Ka, so back to, yes, Kunalis, would you like to say something?
No, I'm glad that you shared about it. I think it's something that it's a very sensitive topic. And usually, we wanted, finding different ways in which people can get to know these different projects that are out there that might not have, all these exposures. And so thank you for sharing about it from your own perspective as well.
Thank you, Ka. Thank you. So back to Kun Boom, Ka. I would like to ask about your future strategy or marketing plans to elevate your business or the Socialgiver platform into social enterprise, and how does this work? And again, what will the society get from this?
Okay. So I think like ever since we started, Socialgiver was a very small project, based on this quite simple idea, but at the time it was very complicated, and it was really hard to kind of communicate what we do and get people to understand. One of the biggest challenge was getting people to actually believe that it's possible to shop for a hotel deal but get to put kids in school, and that it's cheaper to do that. um, and that you have a personal experience with this, right? When you first visit our website.
I was like, wow, okay, this deal was like probably for one night, but no, you gotta check it out. This deal is actually 3 days, 2 nights, guys. So watch this episode and check out Socialgiver website platform.
Yeah, so it was actually really difficult in the beginning to get this idea started, and when we got the ball rolling and we started having a very loyal consumer base, we have people regularly coming on to purchase, and we can start pitching to businesses that we have a group of socially conscious consumers who are willing to go to their hotel and spend more when they purchase these gift cards, because it's not like a deal website where customers are looking just for the cheapest deal. It's a brand new concept where you're getting a good deal, but you're helping society. But what we kind of also encourage with our customers is to also go to these businesses and support them as well. And so we're trying to create this community. It's I think the direction that we're trying to move is to be very community driven, maybe more so towards like Airbnb kind of concept, where it's more about the people that you're supporting within this community, and growing together. The more consumers we have, the more business we have, we can gradually grow the platform and make an even bigger impact, with every business, with every customer that joins this movement, we could call. So where are we going? We've started as a small social enterprise. We've bootstrapped ourselves. So basically, it's self-funded until today. We have a few generous sponsors who have been very kind to keep Socialgiver running, and to help Socialgiver grow to the scale that it is today. And I think where we're at is we've found that this model works. And we're at the stage where we're looking to expand what we do to kind of replicate the success that we've had here in Thailand to other countries. So we're in the process of just systemizing everything and preparing to scale up. And scaling up, means that we need to move on both the business side as well as the customer side as well as the project side. So we're recruiting, in case anyone's interested, to move into working for impact. I really recommend it. It makes your life much more meaningful, and it's a fun job. It's something that I feel like we're super fortunate to be able to wake up and make good things happen for the world every day. So that's kind of where we are right now. So
I can see it from your face.
Maybe Alice can also explain a little more about like some of the partnerships we've developed with Tourism Authority of Thailand, who is actually one of our biggest sponsor. And ever since COVID, they saw the need for travel to become more socially conscious, but also in the short term to support like the local businesses here while raising funds for charity. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Tourism Authority of Thailand has been extremely active in pushing forward responsible tourism. And this is not just from like the business standpoint, but also wanting to attract like this group of customers to not just see Thailand as a cheap travel destination. And I feel that we have so much more to offer. And I'm sure a lot of people would resonate with this, especially throughout the pandemic when it was very difficult to travel overseas. We start to really understand like, how fortunate we are to be able to live in Thailand and really
Yes.
enjoy, and a lot of the times when we go out and enjoy, and I'm sure a lot of people who will be traveling during the holidays coming up was like, you'll start to see how much you enjoy being in nature or enjoy being in local communities. And sometimes I'd like to add additional question is like, how do we, help to preserve this so that we can enjoy this much longer, so that our family or children and grandchildren, we can pass on and make them also be able to have this experience as well. And so with the Tourism Authority of Thailand, collaborating and pushing this forward with Socialgiver, we see that there is definitely like a space in which people want to move towards, from the business aspects of all the tourism industry business operators, as well as consumers. And the social projects that are in different geographical locations throughout Thailand would also benefit from this as well. And so I feel that it's really getting people to slowly see the importance of what Arch has mentioned earlier, is where you spend matters, because you're supporting that business to thrive. You're supporting that business to be able to, succeed, right? So, and I feel that consumers are looking for this. You'll see a trend even globally and even local brands that when there is a close connection with making a positive impact, there is definitely a growth there. And so with that, I feel that, we can definitely find new creative ways in which people could do more of what they love to do, which is travel more, but at the same time being able to support all these social causes that can directly support the beneficiaries. And I feel that sometimes when doing good is made a lot easier, people want to do it more often. And I feel that that would be one of our dream come true.
For me, doing good and doing a proper way, the starting is kind of hard, but then when you keep doing it, it will be much more easier. And for me, I think your project is actually make people realize how to be responsible towards the society as well while they are traveling, while they are enjoying themselves.
Yes, most definitely.
So last, Ka, what sort of society would you like to create? As a Socialgiver founder or CEO, I will start first with Kun Boom.
Okay. Wow. Okay, that's a big question. I think I kind of also described it, a little bit in the earlier questions. Like we want to see, I want to live in a world where every business is good for the world. And how I see the world moving in the future. I mean, how I see the direction that the world has been moving, it's a little bit heartbreaking, to be honest. I think a lot of people seem to be okay with businesses not contributing to making the world better, and we don't consider that when we make our purchases. And so we've seen, these socially irresponsible businesses grow and grow and damage the community, damage the people, damage the environment more and more. But I think, fortunately, a lot of people are waking up to this reality and seeing, this upcoming climate crisis, and seeing, the huge social inequality or the businesses taking advantage of rural communities. And people are looking for a better way. And we are hoping to be able to provide that, or at least help provide that in some ways. But what's important for us is getting people to understand that how you spend your money is how you're voting for the future of our society. And we would really love to see businesses become more and more socially responsible and environmentally responsible. And I think it's inevitable that actually needs to happen for the human race to thrive. Otherwise, we'll be in a lot of trouble. And so we're just hoping that more businesses will wake up to this, and more consumers will finally make the choice, to maybe only support socially conscious businesses. And I think, if we can get enough people to make that choice, then we start moving in the right direction, and the world starts becoming a little bit better day by day. So yeah, what sort of society would I like to see? I guess it's one where the incentive systems are aligned for socially conscious businesses to benefit financially from doing good, and for these businesses to be more successful than the ones who are not. And when that happens, we can really accelerate towards a world that is more peaceful and more fair and more livable.
What about you, Liz?
I think Arch summarized it really well. I think it really is truly the philosophy of why we started Socialgiver, hence wanting to be able to see a world that is more just, more equal, and in many ways understanding what is it that is value for money. Value for money, is not just about having the cheapest thing, right? It's about balancing all the other values. And so I hope that, with the society that we hope to create, one of the key values that people would want to be choosing is choosing to be kinder, choosing to be more thoughtful, choosing to ask more questions, and at the same time, choosing that they themselves, even if they're just one person, but that they stand true to it, be consistent with it, this adds up to become the society that we see. And so as long as people do not feel hopeless or helpless, or at least know that something better is possible, do that. And just to go for it and see what could come out of it, rather than being a bystander and just a pure witness of what will unravel.
Well, thank you very much for today. I'm sure that your website as a Socialgiver, and as what you both have wraps up the program and conclude the program, I'm pretty sure that people will be recognized more of towards what their actions and towards the society, and how we are all going to contribute towards the society, starting from us, from me, from everyone individually, basically.
Yeah, I think Socialgiver is definitely just a start. Socialgiver is definitely just like the first stepping stone for us to talk even harder issues, right? So I think this is basically the first gateway for people to start seeing that, there is a community beyond myself. There are brands that care. There are people that care. And I feel that the first step, just like what you were saying earlier, it's really important. And to be able to solidify this, bulletproof this, we can actually take on bigger things.
Yeah, or is there something that we can contribute, starting from us or from me, basically, like thinking about what am I going to buy, who or where am I going to, and what my action is, how is it going to contribute towards the society? Yeah, well, anyway, today it was very, very informative and from both of you. And thank you very much for joining the program. But we're running out of time, so I would like to say thank you. And that's all for today, Voice of the Nation. Stay tuned with us every day, Monday to Friday from 8 to 8:30 p.m. for today's Swadika. And thank you, both of you, for joining again. Swadika.
Thank you so much. Swadika.
Thank you for having us.